Welcome to CGC Machans. Today we are not going to do any playthrough. This is going to be the review of Diablo 4 beta, which came over the weekend. You had different characters to play with, so let's get into it. First off, any of the Diablo games or ARPG games is compared with the best in the lineup. So the best is considered to be Diablo 2. So how this game stacks up with Diablo 2 is something that I'm still skeptical about whether it can stack up literally to Diablo 2. But compared to Diablo 3, Path of Exile, uh, Titan's Quest, Grim Dawn, any of those games, right? I would say this is a definite play, much better compared to those games. And probably it should be because this is the latest in the version that has come out. So definitely it has a lot of features which is much better than that. Starting off, the game has 5 different playable races or playable characters. You can play as a barbarian, a rogue, sorcerer, necromancer, or a druid, and you have a ton of customizable options that are available for your character. You can customize your character as you wish, and the same character is present in any of the cutscenes that are coming in. All the cutscenes, you will see that character present there. So that is a good thing that they have done, and you have an option of selecting the world classes, the tiers or the difficulty levels. So in beta, we had two difficulty level. One was the opening one, and next one was the veteran level. So the
I
difficulty
should
level
find
is
a
good.
better shelter
You can
before I
definitely
freeze.
feel the spike in difficulty when you change the levels for sure. And it was literally uh, higher the difficulty, you get more gold, more drops, more rare drops. Lower the difficulty, you can just enjoy the story, and you will not get as many drops as possible in the other tiers. And next up is with the graphic part. As you could see, the graphics are really good in this particular game. I didn't expect it to be so good. Very nicely done. I'm pretty much happy and surprised with the amount of effort that they've spent in all the graphic related activities. I did hear about certain cases where the RTX 3080 Ti card is freezing up uh, or bricking. This is something that is completely dependent on the card. I don't feel that it is a Diablo's issue. I think it is a card issue that needs a fix. Followed by next, once you enter the game, right, you are introduced with a very good cutscene. And something I didn't like about Diablo 3 was the way that the story was foretold. I was not too happy with the way that the story was foretold compared to Diablo 2. Diablo 2, we were talking about the wanderer who was wandering around the lands, and we were following that particular wanderer, understanding what was happening. So that was a nice way of building up a story. But D3 did not have that story interest peaked in. As a player, I did not invest myself too much into D3. But Diablo 4, so far I played, it had enough lore, and all the lore is clearly explained or built up to a particular point. It is really good. The lures are really good in this particular game, and I'm pretty much happy with the way that they have built the story in this particular game, as far as I've seen. So that is a good thing. Next is on the skill tree. Uh, People who have played Path of Exile, definitely you would have felt the challenge on the skill tree part itself. Uh, the looking at the skill tree at the initial stage would be overwhelming in Path of Exile for sure. But Diablo 4, it is not as big as the Path of Exile. It has a fairly decent amount of skill tree, probably 20 to 30 skill set is what I would remember as far as I've seen. So all the skills that are there, you can make a proper build out of it. So this is my ice sorcerer that I built. It was good. Frozen or blizzards and whatnot. All the ice related spell from D2 was directly added to it. But something that I missed from Diablo 2 was, let's say, if you increase a particular lower level skill, it will add benefits to a higher level tier skill from the same skill tree. For example, if I increase the ice bolt level in D2, it will affect my frozen orb when I level up to a higher level character. I don't think that is happening in this particular game. If they're bringing it in, I'll be so happy to see it as well. Next up are the bosses. So in beta, we saw some world bosses that were there, and then we had some mini bosses from the dungeon and the main quest bosses. Unfortunately, I was not able to get my hands on some of the world level bosses in the game. I was able to finish a couple of dungeons that were there, and the main quest, Act One quest, right? I completed all the bosses in the Act One. The boss fight is not pretty straightforward. You need to have certain skills to win or defeat some of these bosses. You have very minimal amount of health refills that are there, and it also refills only a partial amount of your health. And in the boss fight, you will not find all the refill drops immediately coming to your way. It would take certain time for the refill drops to come from your main boss. So you need to have a good amount of skill to defeat the main boss. While speaking about the health potion, right? You can upgrade your health potion from any of the cities, right? You can go to a potion dealer, connect with the potion dealer to upgrade your health items. They have multiple tiers of health item improvement, and you need to be at a multiple level to reach that particular health upgrades. So that is a good thing that I've seen. And moving on to the side quests are interesting. It is really interesting in most of the
I
parts that
haven't
I have
much
seen.
time.
Each of the
More
side
power
quests
men,
gives a
more
different kind of
deaths.
mission for you,
Use
where you
failed
go
in
and
the
complete
ancient
that particular
city.
mission, come back to
Renegade mountain.
claim your reward. Sometimes you do
Security's
not get the
putting me in
reward directly.
slavery. But
And also, I saw some of the side quests particularly tailored for the character that you're playing. So as a sorcerer, when I
the
played, there was a particular quest
hunger.
where you can play only as a sorcerer to complete that particular side quest. You cannot play any other character to complete that side quest. So that is a different approach that I've seen on the side quest. A different side quest for different characters that improves the replayability of characters as well. Next up is the main quest. The way that they have built the main quest is quite good. They have told the story in such a way that people who are new to this particular franchise, or returning players, or existing players within the franchise can understand the story well and get into the story immediately. Right at the get-go, you will get into the story. That's the way that they have built this main story quest line, or the way that they are telling the story in the quest line. So it is really good. I would definitely give a thumbs up for the way that they have built the story here. So my final thoughts about this particular game, whether to get this or not. Since Activision Blizzard is known for its Warcraft 3 Reforged, uh, everybody knows what happened in that particular game. Including myself, I was skeptical buying this game. I still haven't pre-purchased it yet. I was skeptical about pre-purchasing this particular game after seeing some of the major games stumbling post releases. But this game, I feel this game is not going to be one of them. This game is going to be really good. As far as what I've seen so far, the game is it has a very good graphics. It has a very, very good storyline. It has good side quest. It keeps you running around. It has mechanics where you are being challenged in the gameplay. You will not be like, you cannot breeze through the game. You would face challenge in this particular game, and you will have certain hiccups while playing this particular game. So these are all good things. It should be there for a player to get into this particular game. So this is something that is present in this particular game, which I love. I want to see more on. Uh, but this game doesn't come with all positives. There are definitely certain things which they need to change or improve. One major thing is going to be I like to play a game as a single player rather than a multiplayer. This is a multiplayer game, but at times I don't want to play with others. I would rather play it as a single player game. Like when I'm traveling to some places, I play using my laptop. When I travel to some place, or when I'm having a very poor network reception. But this game can only be played when you have a strong internet connection. It is not just an ordinary net connection. You need to have a very, very strong net connection to play this game. I had problem with my Druid playthrough. While I was playing Druid, my net connection was not so great. I was kind of far from my net connection, so I had a repeater. That repeater was sending out the signals to me, and the game was so laggy, and I hated the experience that I had. So I would prefer an option of going offline. I just don't want to stay online always. I would prefer going offline. Give the player that freedom. That is what I would ask from Activision Blizzard. Give them the freedom. Either they want to play offline, it's their call. If they want to play online, it is their call. But don't force these players to sit and play only online. So that is something that they need to improve on. And their server load is going to be having a lot of issues for sure. Uh, Having such a huge amount of players coming in, that is definitely going to be there. So this is one drawback that I saw. The second drawbacks are the dungeons. The dungeons are pretty much similar. I don't see too much of difference on the dungeon part. You just go and search for things. There is a key. You need a key to open the room where the main boss or the dungeon boss is there. You defeat the dungeon boss, get some reward, and come out. So this is how the dungeon quests are built in. I would rather see some kind of a storyline added to it. Side quest storyline. I'm not even asking for a main quest storyline. Certain side quest storyline, different type of side quest storyline mixed into the dungeons, so that people are interested to get into dungeons as much as possible, and give different type of dungeon, not the same dungeon, same set of features, same type of dungeons each and everywhere. So that is something that I would like them to make the changes to it. And I had certain crashes, so since it is a beta version, I don't crib or cry about the crashes that I faced in this particular game, because it is supposed to be still under work, which I would definitely hope that all these things would be fixed on the main release day itself. It should go away. So if you ask me what I would rate Diablo 4, Diablo 4 is a great game. Whether it is better than Diablo 3, yes, 100%. Whether is it better than Path of Exile or Grim Dawn, I would say it has a potential to surpass Path of Exile for sure. Whether it can meet up Diablo 2, that is something that we need to wait and see if it could beat the expectations of Diablo 2. I feel very hopeful that this game can do it. So that is my thoughts about this particular game. Overall, it is a great game. You can pre-purchase it if you want, or wait for the game to be released. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching the video. We have come to the end of the video. Stay tuned to CGC channel for more gameplay of Diablo 4 and other games as well. Stay safe, guys, and goodbye.